Imagine you are ready to code Python and your computer just stares back at you. Nope, not today. That's because without the right setup, you literally cannot write a single line of Python. Today, we fix that in the easiest way possible. Hello, learners. Welcome to your learning hub, The Learning Loop. I am Swati Sharma, and if you're watching this for the first time, thank you for joining. This is the fourth video of my beginner friendly Python Go series. And if you haven't checked out my first three videos yet, I would highly recommend you to go back and check out my first three videos so you are all caught up. Today, we are doing the most important step of our Python journey, installing Python with Anaconda. No setup, no coding. It's that simple. But don't worry, I'll guide you through the easiest way to get started so you are ready to code in just few minutes. Before we dive into installation, let's quickly understand what Anaconda is and why we are using it. Anaconda is what we call as a distribution package. Now, what does that mean? Imagine Python as a code language, and in order to do useful stuff with it, like data science, machine learning, and even like plotting graphs, you would need a whole bunch of extra libraries like NumPy, Pandas, Matplotlib, and so on, and maybe an IDE as well. Installing all those one by one can be a real headache. That's where Anaconda comes in. That's like a bundle, basically like a toolkit, which just doesn't come with Python, but it also gives you some preloaded libraries that you will need as a beginner. On top of that, it also comes with a Jupyter Notebook and an IDE Spyder. Now, instead of wasting hours setting things up, Anaconda gives you a plug and play environment so that you can start coding right away. That's why for beginners and even for professional in data science, it's a go-to choice. Now that you're a little bit aware of what Anaconda is and what we are talking about, let's go ahead and start installing it, and it might make more sense to you guys. So, without a further ado, let's dive in. Alright, I will be using Microsoft Edge to download Anaconda, but you can use any other browser. These steps are mostly going to be same for both Mac and Windows. I don't think there would be any difference except for the fact that for Windows that would be .exe file, and for Mac that would be .pkg file. There is just one more extra step that we have in Windows, and for Mac it's straightforward installation. You just have to install your .pkg file, that the way you do it on, or with the way you install any other app on your MacBook. So let's go to your web browser of your choice, any web browser. It could be any web browser. So I'm going to try Anaconda, download. And that's the very first link. You can either go here, wherever you want. So I'm just going to go to the main Anaconda site. And now we are going to click on free download. And on free download, we will be clicking get started. And then you can either like sign up with your Google account, Microsoft account, and if you have a GitHub account, you can do that as well. Or you can sign up with your email. So I have a Google account, so I will quickly go ahead and click Google. Continue. Okay, once you sign up, you will get onto this download page, and as you can see on this download page, we have two options: distribution installers and Miniconda installers. So what we need to install is distribution installers. As distribution installer is the full Anaconda distribution package that we need to install, which comes with Python and then the pre-installed tools and the preloaded libraries and something called as Conda. Conda is something that comes packaged inside Anaconda, which acts as a, let's say, package manager or plus environmental manager. And I will say let's keep it at that Conda is something that comes bundled inside Conda. But I want to keep it very high level because there could be many learners that are joining us and that have no coding experience. So just understand there is one more thing that comes along in Anaconda is Conda, and it has some uses along with it, but we don't need to know right now. But if you are interested, just let me know. I can definitely drop a video. In Mini Conda, that does not come with any pre-installed libraries and the tools. It will just come with the Python and the Conda packaged inside it. So we do not need Conda because we will not have the preloaded libraries, or we don't have the tools like Jupyter, Spyder packaged into it. So what we need to install is distribution installers. So I'll just quickly click download, and as we can see, download has started. Almost done. And I believe what we will get is exe file. So at whichever location the exe file has installed, just double click on it and start installing, or just click here or just say file, and it will initiate the exe file. Right, once you open your exe file, you will get this setup dialog box, and I will just hit next. I agree to the license agreement, and then I'll just go for recommended just me. This is the location where the Anaconda would be installed. Just in case you want to change it, just click browse and click the location where you want your Anaconda distribution to be installed. I'm just gonna click next, and I'm gonna do install. It will take some time to get installed, so I'll just fast forward this video and I'll meet you guys once that's done.
A few moments later.
Okay, the Anaconda has been installed. I'm just gonna click next. Just giving me general message that everything you love about Anaconda is now available, has been installed. And I'm just gonna hit next, and I'm gonna launch Anaconda, so I'll keep that checked. So I'm just gonna hit finish. Okay. Let's wait for Anaconda to get initiated and launched as I click that. So just waiting for it. Right, first my on the screen, but it might give you a pop-up saying that if you want to sign in, you can skip it. We are not going to do that. We can directly start using it now. And if in case you want to use Anaconda, obviously there's something called Anaconda Navigator. You just type in Anaconda Navigator in your start menu and you should get it, and you can click it and it will launch your Anaconda Navigator. The tools that we are mostly going to use on this particular Anaconda would be this Jupyter Notebook, Spyder, but then you can also use this PyCharm if you want. Okay, but yeah, you can check other tools as well, but I am mostly going to focus on Spyder and Jupyter Notebook. I will actually be mostly focusing on Spyder in Anaconda because Jupyter is similar to Google Colab. We will briefly see how these IDEs look like, and then that's it. But as we move forward in our videos and actually will be coding on these IDEs, you will get more hang of it. So I'm just click launch here, and it will try and install it first if it is not installed, and then once you install it, this is how your Spyder would look like. And let's go over all the 3 terminals that you see here. Obviously, this is the first terminal that would be your coding editor or code editor terminal where you can actually write your code. So as we had only used print as of now, we will go with it and we will only use print today. And as dive more deep into it, we will start looking at other commands as well. But for now, let's keep it to print. And the very first thing, as you can see, as I wrote print, it is giving me some suggestions of syntax, right? And it's different color coded that you did not see in your main Python that we actually installed from the Python org. Again, if you haven't checked out that video, I will recommend please go back and check that out so that you can actually draw a difference. In that Python, that print was everything was in the same color. We were not getting any kind of suggestions, and that's why now the IDEs are very, very helpful. As you can see, I'm getting a lot of options here, right? And you can also like click here and it will give you additional help, which is my this variable explorer, debugger, and whatever you want to view. So it's a help option here, and where you can see you can just write any command here and it will give you the definition and all the parameters that you can use and the definition of it. We will see variable explorer once we go over what are variables. So at any time I define any variable, all the variables would be highlighted here. And we will learn all about it as we will be moving forward in our videos. But for now, understand whatever you declare during your code, any variable, you will see all the information of this variable under this variable explorer. Debugger, obviously, in order to debug your codes or any functions you want to see what could be wrong in your code. For that, we will use debugger. Plots. So if you're using any visualization, if you're doing plotting something or you're plotting some graphs, every plot will be displayed under this plots option. And then there are files. These are the files on my systems. And if you want to refer to some file or you want to import or get some file into Python, you can see all the files here and get it imported. So this is a console where whenever I run a code, my output will be shown onto this console. For example, let's say, and see, it's automatically completed my bracket. Now, when I'm going to put the double quotes, say, hello world, or let's just say, oh, I'm sorry. And as you see, okay, that's good. Let me delete this. And you see, because I don't have the left bracket on, you can see it's giving me an indication that, oh, you have not closed your bracket. So it is giving me indication that, something is missing out here or something is wrong in the code. So you can see how powerful an IDE is. And if you, again, haven't checked out my video on IDE, that was my third video. Please go back and check that out. Just in case you haven't checked out and you're wondering what is an IDE. So if I close it, this bubble will go. So let's just run this code. So in order to run this particular one line, I have to press this I with the run command. And as you can see, if you take your error, it says run selection or current line. Now, I am on line 1. So my cursor is at line 1. So if I hit enter, it is going to run whatever was that on that particular line. So it says current line, right? So was on 1. So it ran whatever was there in the line 1. So you can see the output has been printed here. That's hello world. Let's say I have a big sentence, right? Learners. I am okay. I have to make use of the triple quote. We will definitely learn this on how to write it. I'm just want to show how to run your code. So that's why I'm doing it. You don't need to worry why triple quote and everything. So I am running there. Now this is a two line, right? So if I only run this line, I will get an error. So in order to make because this whole is one code, and you will get certain the two line or three liner codes when as we are going further. So in order to run this whole block, you have to select this as it says run selection. So it was going to run the whole selection. So as you can see, it ran hello learners. I am running this on Spyder, right? And it is giving me the output here. This is Python console. And if you click on history, you can see all the commands that you ran. Okay. You can have a new tab open. Clicking this here, you will get a new tab. If you want to open any Python file that's saved on your computer or Python code saved on your computer, you can just open that directly. That should be .py extension. You want to save it. Let's say we want to save this. Save. If you want to save all the files that's open here, then you click this. I mean, you can explore these tools, but what you really need to understand is these three terminals, right? Now, as we have briefly understood what is the Spyder environment, let's quickly look at Jupyter. I'm going to click launch here. And Jupyter will actually launch in your default web browser, whatever web browser you have selected as default on your system. It will automatically go and open onto that particular web browser. I'm just going to click it again. So as you can see, this Jupyter console or Jupyter notebook is open. And in order to actually open a Python notebook where we can write the code, you go to new and then you select notebook. Back. It will ask for the kernel that you want to use. That's the only kernel we have. So, or you can say connect. Okay, yeah, that's the only kernel we have. So we will select it. Otherwise, it might not run. So do select it. And we have certain these lines or blocks where you can actually write a code. So you can just write print and hello world. And just click this arrow button, run this cell, or you can hit shift plus enter and it will run this code. In Spyder, in order to run multiple lines, we actually have to select the code. So, but in Jupyter, you don't have to do that. You just write hello world. Put equals here and enter. Say next line. I've already closed it. Just put it here next. So don't have to select anything. You just select this block or put your cursor in that block, run it, it will run the whole block. You can, click here to add a new block. If you want, you can click delete to delete the block. If you want to change the sequence of the block, like if you want to move the block up, you can just click on this arrow button. You want to move it down, you can click on the down arrow button. If you want to insert the cell above, you can click this insert a cell above. I'm gonna delete it or insert the cell below. You can do different things along with this particular Jupyter. If you want to have a same piece of code again and you don't want to type it, you can just click let's say here duplicate. It's gonna put the same duplicate block just below the actual block. And if you want to move the sequence, you can again actually do that. If you want to save a file, you can just hit this button, or you can go here and save notebook, or you can write save notebook as and rename the notebook. Otherwise it's gonna save it as untitled one. So I will save, or you can just click here and rename it here. Double click on the untitled block here, so it will give you the option to block. Let's say we say practice and just rename, but or you can just write it as save notebook as and just write practice and save. Oh, it's already there. So if you go to your home page, you can actually see this practice notebook has been saved. And every time you want to open any previous coded notebook, you just open your or launch your Spyder, and you can find these notebook here, click it, and that would open your previous notebooks on which you have been working. Or go to your this PC window, local disk C, program files. My actually Anaconda was installed under users, and whatever the location where Anaconda is installed, you need to navigate to that. And okay, this is my user, and you can see my files have been saved here. Right, so it will be saved in this particular location. You can directly open it from here, or you can launch Jupyter and you will see all these notebooks here. You can directly click it, open it from here. So I will be covering Spyder and Jupyter on Anaconda, but if you want to have or you want to have a video on like any other IDE, just drop a comment below and I can definitely take up a video on that. So let's recap what we learned today. We now are aware what Anaconda is and why we use it, or why it is popular among both beginners and professionals in data science. We also saw the installation steps of Anaconda, and we got familiar with two IDEs, that's Jupyter and Spyder. Before we wrap up, I would quickly like to go over what I would be covering in my next upcoming videos. In the very next video, I would be introducing Google Colab, which is a cloud IDE. We will see why that is so powerful IDE or tool in the world of machine learning and AI. Then I would be covering, or we would be exploring what happens in the backend when we run a Python code. If Python is a compiler or an interpreter. And once we have learned if Python is an interpreter or compiler, we have set up everything that we need for Python to run, we will start with the introduction to variables and kick off our Python code journey. That's it for today, guys. If you like my video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you want daily Python tips and a peek on what goes on behind the scenes, please make sure to follow me on Instagram. I'll see you guys in next video. Till then, happy coding.